ahead, Stacey.
So
Let's
did
go.
E. Jean Carroll go on every talk show and say that Donald Trump never raped her? Yes or no?
No.
Are you sure about that?
You just played the video, Stacey.
Which video? I just got in here. Which video?
There's a new video, Stacey. She
It's not.
admits it.
It's not. It's not.
They went back to Anderson Cooper and reshot it after the fact. And I can't find the original.
Okay, I have all the original videos of E. Jean
You're in
Carroll.
the big box.
I
I'll
have,
put you in the big box.
I have E. Jean Carroll talking about Donald Trump prior to her even coming out. Facts.
Right. So when we were
again,
Stacey, hold
you're
on.
saying no.
You asked me a question. So Rocco just played a video, and then Rocco said he had to have second thoughts on it, and then Tony said, yeah, this is what happened. And even Gunner was a little bit surprised by that. When E.G. Carroll said, he pinned me up against the dressing room wall, so he assaulted her first, and then he put his fingers inside her. So you want to explain to me what that is? What is that?
Okay,
What
so
would you call that? Like,
let's oh no, we need to start from the beginning. Facts. Don't try to deflect. Right?
Okay, so
I asked you a
middle name.
question
That's
about
your middle
E.G.
name.
Carroll, right? I asked
your
you if
middle
she
name.
had ever went on a talk show and said that Donald Trump never raped her. And
That's
she
not the
did.
question I asked.
She went on a
That's not
whole
the
lot of
question
Let her
talk
speak,
shows.
Max.
That's not the question she asked me.
Yes, I asked you if she had ever been on a talk show saying
you said
that he
she
never
go on-
raped her.
No, you said, did she go on every single talk show and say that he didn't rape me? I said no.
Okay, that's
She
kind
did
of the
not.
same thing, isn't it?
Show them the
it's
video
not,
I looked
Stacey.
for.
No, it's not.
Okay, facts. The point is, E. Jean Carroll went on several of talk shows talking about Donald Trump and saying, talking about the story. And then the people would say, would you consider that great? She said, no, I wouldn't consider that. Right. So, and I have plenty of proof of that. Right. So not only that, E. Jean Carroll wrote a book, correct? Facts. And all of her Twitter feeds was also erased off of her Twitter, posts were erased off of Twitter about how she watched The Apprentice, how she compared Donald Trump to that blonde-headed actor that she put on her post. Would you rather have sex with him or Donald Trump? She also put on there about her shoes that she was supposedly wearing at that time. Now, I mean, facts. When we're talking about this serious allegation that is happening to a man due to political assassination, to say that somebody raped them is very serious. Would you agree?
So there's a lot of word salad there, Stacey. So the question is then, you're talking information that is part of the narrative around E. Jean Carroll, writing a book, doing interviews. What we're talking about is what happened. And
yes. Well, you have to talk about what happened prior.
I let you talk. What we're talking about, what happened when E. Jean Carroll in the interview that Rocco played, that I don't think he was prepared to play because it literally debunked his entire argument.
Listen, I'm glad I was made aware of it.
Okay. So then when they went into
I'd love to see the video.
Cool. When they went into the dressing room together and he pinned her against the wall, so that's an assault first, and then she talked about how he inserted his fingers into her vagina, and then the jury again ruled unanimously, she said that as well, unanimously ruled that he deliberately and forcibly penetrated her vagina with his fingers. What would you call that, Stacey?
He didn't say that. She just said it was over quick. Stop it. She did not say anything about fingers or parts.
Yes, she did.
Well, in the video, she didn't. No. Hold on, Rocco, listen.
So I can mute you.
Rocco, listen, honey. Let's not.
Stacey, can you answer my question?
What?
Answer my question. What would you call that? The jury ruled that he deliberately and forcibly penetrated her vagina with his fingers. What would you call that?
Forcibly doing something, right? That was what they agreed, that it was SA, correct?
Right. So then he's
okay. So the problem is, facts. I can say that you did that to me, right? I could say that I went to a store. I went to a busy store in New York. I met Facts at this store. We went up to a dressing room. I walked into that dressing room with you, and you decided to assault me, right, Facts? That's my word against yours, correct?
Right. In the immortal words of Donald Trump, you're not my type.
Okay, right? So I can accuse you of anything, right? So yes, you get to defend yourself, correct?
Right.
And so did Donald Trump, was Donald Trump able to defend himself in that case? Yes or no?
Absolutely he was.
No, he was not. No, he was not.
Okay, so
and not only that, Facts, the case wasn't even about rape. The case was about a defamation of her character.
Right, and then
Okay,
the judge said,
so the only reason why
Stacey,
he got the
Stacey.
case was because
Stacey.
she claimed that he raped her. They even changed the statute of
Stacey.
limitations for that
wrong.
case.
Stacy, you're wrong about everything.
No, I'm
The
not
initial-
wrong.
Yes, you are.
I am far from wrong.
You're absolutely wrong. I'll prove it.
So you're telling me that E. Jean Carroll
Let me
and her
finish.
lawyer?
Let me
Speak
finish.
to her
Let me
respectfully,
finish.
please. Don't yell at her.
Okay, whatever. You support a rapist. So specifically, Stacey,
If he didn't grape her, if he graped her, he would be in prison.
The initial case was
If he
about
graped her, he'd be in prison.
Thank you,
the
Stacey.
initial case was about
Propagandist.
defamation.
You're a
The initial
propagandist.
case was about defamation. But to add context to the case to understand where the defamation came from, she was allowed to introduce the fact that he sexually assaulted her. That's why the case became what it was. The statute of limitations was not changed for E. Jean Carroll. This had gone back years prior to her even making this claim. It was about protection for victims to be able to look back on when their assaulters had committed the assault. She was just one of thousands of people who got to bring that case up. So that narrative is just complete
Okay,
bullshit.
so,
You still haven't answered
really?
my question, though. You still
What's
haven't
your
answered my
question? Because now you're monologuing. What's your question?
That's your game. You're deflecting, monologuing.
You
Again,
asked me, you said, can I ask
the
you a question?
jury-
Ask me the question.
The jury ruled that he deliberately and forcibly penetrated her.
Okay, you said that already.
Okay, you can't accept that.
No, I did. So,
Okay, you
so
accept
listen
it,
to why,
but you're
though.
still voting.
You have to listen to how it led up to that, Facts. You're only taking the one side of what happened in the courtroom. You're not listening to the entirety of it, especially E. Jean's entire part of it.
Right,
You
you're
just only
claiming-
wanted to hear her side and not the other side, and that's not right. That's not
What?
how our system works in this country.
Right, Stacey,
You
so
can't
in-
just be
in the
biased
Trump-
for the hate of Trump.
Oh,
So
right.
if you
So the
cared
deposition-
about the judicial
deposition-
system, you would research
God.
what happened that led up to that, and you didn't.
Yes, I did, Stacey.
No,
I
you
guarantee
didn't. You just hate Trump.
guarantee- No, I guarantee. No, I don't. I'm not a big fan of rapists. But
So
sure.
this case, so supposedly this happened 30 years ago. She didn't even know what year it happened. She supposedly kept a dress or jacket that she wore 30 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
That had
Yep.
DNA on it, which Donald Trump actually said that he would even do his DNA. But because
Incorrect.
the DOJ changed when Facts. Don't tell me that I'm incorrect, because I have
Correct.
every single video of E. Jean Carroll talking about the DOJ on my page. She was doing an interview with your favorite guys there, those young kids that hate Donald Trump. I can't remember their group, but she was doing an interview with them. Okay? So go back prior to Trump and look at the entire thing. She went on every single talk show saying that Donald Trump didn't grape me.
That's not what she said,
that
Tony.
some people think that
Tony.
rape is sexy. Okay?
Stacey, yeah,
So
exactly. Some
go
people
way
think
back.
Right, but Stacey, that's nice for your narrative. That's really nice for your little narrative. The issue
It's
is
not
the
a
interview-
narrative. It's a
I
fact.
let you talk. I let you talk. So specifically, the incident that you're glossing over, which is typically what people do to try to defend this case, is what he did in the dressing room, and the fact that you
That
yourself,
I can say that you did that to me too, Facts.
how did I do that?
I could say I met you at a store. Me and you tried to go into a room and put clothing on together. You took advantage of me, pushed me up against the wall, and you stuck your hand in my. You know what? I could say that about you, correct?
You're right. And then what
And
happened?
then when we go into court, and I can cry and say that you did that, is the jury going to believe me or you?
The jury is going to look at evidence. They also don't forget.
So what was
also
the
look-
evidence?
Can I finish?
What was the
Can I finish?
evidence on Donald Trump's side?
Let me finish. I will tell you.
Tell me what the evidence was.
The evidence that she presented was the fact that she met with
Not her.
You said witnesses before facts.
I didn't say witnesses. I never said witnesses. Never said witnesses.
I got the recording.
Okay, great. Play it. I never said
No, I
witnesses.
want you to give me what the defense was. What the defense was able to put up for evidence. What was their defense?
His defense was nothing. Stacey.
Exactly, because they wouldn't let him defend himself, and you're
Why
okay
did
with
he
that.
why did
You
he give a
are
deposition?
okay with a
Thank you.
man being charged for
Stacey.
sexual assault and not be able to defend themselves. Can
Stacey,
you
Hold on,
imagine if that
Stacey.
happened
Stacey,
to you?
finish?
hold on. Tony,
Let
are
me finish,
you
please.
okay with that, Tony? Are
Not
you
what
okay
happened.
with that? He wasn't allowed to present evidence, Tony. Are you okay with that in a fair and just
Not what happened. That's
system?
not what happened.
She's telling you it happened.
It happened.
It's not
It
fact.
absolutely
Stacey, don't
happened.
talk shit.
It
She
did
brings
not
receipts.
happen, Stacey.
Oh,
It
so
did not happen.
his lawyer, the first
She gave a
time,
4-hour
and the second
deposition.
time- Oh, because he gave a deposition. That was his defense?
That's his testimony.
Okay, and in his testimony, did he say that he raped her? Yes or no?
He said he didn't.
No, they used a picture from 30 years ago.
Right, but he said he did.
That's not enough evidence to prove somebody raped somebody.
Well,
In your mind,
the difference was, I mean, you both.
I mean, I'm a woman,
She's a woman.
Same thing.
and you're a
Oh my
man.
God. Oh my
You are
God.
both talking about.
Can you
this is
imagine
one of
if
the
I did
reasons
that to
why
you?
This will probably be one of the reasons why it
Unbelievable.
might get overturned on appeal, because it was to do with the civil liability of the defamation, and through the defamation they brought up the essay.
Right.
So he was found guilty of the essay. And found
No, he's found liable.
So, Tony, are you going to change your mind when the appeal is overturned? Yes or no?
Listen,
You
it's
better
a
take a
horrible-
personal
it's a-
inventory,
it's
buddy.
like-
Calm down and take a personal inventory. You
Rocco,
want to be
it's
on
a
the right
horrible-
side of
listen,
history
I-
because facts got me so worked up that I forgot it's not even final. And
No,
New
it's not
York
even
is
final.
getting thrown out. Wait, New York is getting thrown out. Gunther brought the evidence on that shit,
Yeah.
right,
Oh
Gunther?
yeah, totally. Whew. Yeah, those are all getting thrown
I mean,
out.
there's
And
still
here's
a
the
way
thing.
to
This is
go.
what it is, Tony. Hold on. They don't know what else to throw at him because all facts wanted was Donald Trump taken off of the
So,
campaign.
Rocco,
He would have been
Stacey's claim-
satisfied if
Stacey's
Colorado
claim-
passed and the rest of the country followed suit.
Cool.
And that's
Stacey's
not
claim-
okay. That's
Stacey's
not
claim is
okay.
that Donald Trump could not defend himself.
You're
which is
losing,
absolute
and you don't know what
nonsense.
else to tell your
It's
cult.
nonsense. It's the most
sad.
ridiculous
It's so
thing I've
sad.
ever heard in my
You
life.
hate your own kind.
You know what's
Tony, like
funny?
a pack of wolves
You
for
know what's
5
funny?
hours.
They won't let
Hilarious.
Tara Reid go to court on her grape charge of Joe Biden, but that's okay, right? Facts. Why can't
So
Tara
what-
Reid get the
Oh,
same
Joe Biden
respect?
say about-
And he stole classified documents.
what did Joe
Wait a
Biden
second. Why can't Tara Reid testify?
Prosecuted. What's
can.
up with
Why
you
she go to
people?
Russia?
No, she
You don't
can't.
want to admit that he's deteriorating in front of your eyes.
She
Facts.
changed her
You people
story
live in
multiple
fantasy
times.
land.
Stacey.
So,
She
no.
changed her
Did.
story.
Hold on,
Multiple
Rocco,
times.
hold on,
Oh my
honey.
God.
Listen, facts. Why did Tara Reid go to Russia in the first place? Do you even know?
I'm gonna go back to the claim
And
you
don't
made
tell me you
that
read a
said Donald-
CNN report.
Right, it's not a CNN report. I'm gonna go back to the claim that you made that said Donald Trump was not allowed to.
No, we're going to
testify
talk about
in
Tara
relation-
Reid.
No, we're not gonna. I'm gonna dunk you. I'm gonna dunk on you on this first, then I'll go back to.
Okay, you're going to dunk on me. That's hilarious.
Yeah, the claim-
Dunk on the fact that E. Jean Carroll said it out of her
It's
mouth.
not even
Okay.
final yet, facts.
Can I
So
finish,
really,
please?
go
Can I finish,
easy.
please?
Try not to be triggered.
Let
just
me
because
finish,
you're
please.
losing.
Stacey, you made a claim that a defendant in a civil case was not allowed to either testify or introduce evidence. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
So what was the evidence?
Tony,
What was the evidence, facts?
Again,
Besides the
Stacey,
there was
picture.
no evidence.
Rocco, honey.
Yes, that's
honey.
all.
Rocco, let me talk.
I'm sorry.
Please,
Hey,
give me
listen,
5 seconds.
I need 100,000 likes, or I am shutting the comments off. 100,000 likes in 5 minutes, or the comments go off.
Turn them off anyways.
Facts. What was the evidence besides his testimony and a picture? What else did
What
they
was-
use?
that was his testimony. That was his evidence. What was
That's
Eugene
it?
Carroll's?
That's it?
What was Eugene Carroll's? What was Eugene Carroll's?
There was 2 women that went in there and that in her testimony.
Right.
That's it.
Now, her therapist as well. Right. Communications back and
Her
forth.
therapist.
So the jury took that information and said, we believe her over him, and we also have this audio tape of him bragging about grabbing women by the vagina when they say you're a star, you can do it. And then the jury looked at both the sets of evidence, the evidence that Donald Trump presented, the evidence that Eugene Carroll presented, and the jury decided that yes, under the penalty of civil liability, Donald Trump is a sexual abuser.
Okay, can you imagine? All right, facts. Can you imagine being a man? Okay, I'm going to give you this scenario. Can you imagine being a man? Me and you met 30 years ago. I have a picture of you because you're famous, right? I keep that picture or whatever the case may be, right? And then 30 years later, I come out and say, you know what? Facts graped me. I have a picture and I have a therapist and I have 2 of my friends, right? That's it. That's all I have. That you essayed me in a busy New York store, right? And I have my testimony as a woman saying, this man did this to me. But that's all the evidence. There's no DNA. There's no witnesses at the store. There's no, there's really not much evidence in that kind of case, right? Usually SA victims usually go to the hospital. They go to the authorities. They might.
Not
No,
all the time.
so they might just.
Women don't report.
So I get it. I get some women don't, right?
Not
Hey,
some
close.
women, not some
Close.
women. And we're talking about a different culture. You know, in the last however many years, we have had the Me Too culture. We have had the forcing of women's equality and women's right. I know that they've lost Roe v. Wade, but generally speaking, women have learned to stand up for themselves. But yet, even with that, most women are not going to report that essay. Now, going back to the Jean Carroll.
That's very true. Very true. Because I was, and I didn't report it.
That's right. Now,
Hey, Tony,
going
I think
back-
she was trying to get to a point. Maybe let's let her get there. And then
Some women absolutely do. Some women absolutely don't. I get that. Right. But I'm not going to say that someone did it unless it was a fact.
Right.
Right.
And that's the
So
part where
I
I
did.
wanna-
So when I first heard this, I did my due diligence to find out about the case because it is very severe. When you say that a man sexually attacks you, you have to be 100% sure that that really happened because that's a serious allegation. I mean, that is a crime. You can go to prison, right?
Right.
So
You
I'm
can be
not
found
going
civilly
to.
liable.
I'm not just sitting up here saying that, oh, Donald Trump, because I'm a Trump fan, that he's innocent. I want the facts of the case.
well, the facts were presented in
Right.
the case, Stacey. So
But
again,
it was only one side facts.
that's not true.
There was
Stacey.
only one side. That's it.
So how do you? So you don't believe that his deposition by E. Jean Carroll's lawyer, Roberta
Because he
Kaplan-
didn't know who was in the picture?
No,
And
it was a
because
4 hour-
20 years
Stacey,
ago, he said he can grab women by the hoo-ha?
Can I answer your
That
question?
makes him a rapist?
Can I answer your question?
Yes, the sky is falling, Stacey. Folks,
Okay.
I'll turn the
Crazy
comments
to
back
me.
on when we hit
Okay,
100,000 likes.
It may be crazy to you, Stacey, but the example that you just talked me through is if it were you and you went to your friends and told them that I did something, and all I had was I said I didn't do that. I don't recognize this person, but I passed. I've said some things about grabbing women by the vagina. The jury is going to look at that information and make a determination, and that is what they did. The claim that you made that he did not provide any evidence is because what evidence is he going to provide? He gave a 4-hour deposition and he talked about all these things. He said he considered himself a star and that stars can grab women by the vagina. So again, you're kind of walking into your own point. The jury had information and
Facts.
evidence presented by both
Facts.
sides.
Can I add something on here, please?
Let me just finish. The jury had information and evidence from both sides. They made a determination that they believed Ms. Carroll's story over his, and that they unanimously ruled that he committed sexual assault. Those are the facts of the case. Those are the facts. Now, you may not like the verdict. That I obviously you don't, but that doesn't change the fact that that's what happened.
All right.
Go ahead, Tony.
Well, she doesn't, but again, it's not final. It hasn't faced appeals yet, and you don't know what to tell them next. You don't know what else to pile on top of that.
Statement
New
of
York's
fact
going
is
out
not
the
gonna
door.
change
This
it.
is likely to go out the door. Even I pray you send them to Rikers Island on July 11th.
Rocco, the only thing that can be changed is the civil penalty, but it's a statement of fact that he's a sexual abuser. That's the only thing that can be changed.
Right.
The only thing that
Okay,
can change
that
is the
may be
civil
the
penalty.
case. But I tell you what,
country is
I
in peril.
understand
The
what
world
they-
is in peril. We need Donald Trump because the Republicans and the Democrats are garbage, and they have the people bamboozled. And you, my friend, are bamboozling your cult like the other liberal. I don't want to call them out, but I will. I'll start calling you all
So
out.
I want to know facts matter. Why didn't she come out in 2015? Facts. Why didn't she come out in 2015 when she knew that Donald Trump was running?
She did.
No, she
This
didn't.
case got. Yes, she did. Again,
What
it was
year
a
did she come
defamation-
out?
Stacey, it's the defamation component. Again, you're missing the point, right? The
No,
defamation.
I want to
piece-
know when
I'm
you think
answering
she
your
came
question.
out.
I'm answering your question.
When?
The defamation. Stacey, I'm going to answer the question the way in which I want to answer the question.
No, you need to
Defamation-
answer the question as the facts.
Defamation was the initial charge. Agree or disagree?
Exactly.
Okay.
So why
defamation-
wasn't it great?
I'm telling you, Stacey. Defamation was the initial charge. Donald Trump kept defaming her. The judge said, we need the basis for your defamation is what? Which is why the sexual assault had to be brought into the case. The statute in New York, hold on, hold on, I'm not done. The statute was not changed for E. Jean Carroll. It was an
They
entire
worked, her and
No.
her lawyer worked on the case together to get that changed.
True,
Went
Stacey.
on national TV after she won and said, "Oh, E. Jean Carroll said thank you to my lawyer. We worked on this together to change that Me Too movement."
Not true.
Yes, they
Not
absolutely
true.
did.
It's not true.
So then go watch the video. Facts.
How about I just read you the news story? How about that? Would that be okay? Or no?
What news story?
How it was reported as to the history of why that law was changed.
You can tell me that the law was changed because it was a Me Too movement, right?
It started long before that. And do you know why?
Yes, and they worked on it together.
Do you know why the statute was changed, Stacey?
Yes, for the Me Too movement.
But why specifically? Why
So that
was
people
that-
can go back after a certain amount of time and go after their abuser.
Correct, but it wasn't for E. Jean Carroll. This started.
No, it wasn't. I didn't say it was just directly for her. I said they worked on it together, her and her lawyer.
Right? It was changed for Bill Cosby, wasn't it?
It was changed for Harvey Weinstein. It was changed for Bill Cosby. It was changed
Bill
for
Cosby,
lots
Harvey
of people.
Weinstein, that's right.
Yeah.
Lots of people.
So
It's not
then,
just, but the narrative you're spinning, Stacey, is that the law was changed. Rocco said this earlier too. The law was changed for E. Jean Carroll, and it was not. Now, was she able to take advantage of the change in the law? Absolutely.
I don't
But
know
again,
the law.
can you go back? Can you go back to the question that I asked you? The
Which one?
jury had two sets of opinions, two sets of witness testimony and evidence, and they decided that they believed unanimously in E. Jean Carroll. So I don't know what.
Okay,
I mean,
facts.
what's your point?
I know I'm always on the fence with you, and I know some of the things you say, okay? But I'm going to irritate you again. And I need an honest question from you, an honest answer from you now. If that trial had happened in Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Atlanta, do you think a jury would have found him guilty given the same amount of evidence?
I think that's kind of a flex, but I trust the judicial system. I really
Okay,
do.
so then hold on a second. What do you think of the district attorney who ran on getting Trump? She could have went after the Gambinos, the Lucchese's, the Colombos. She could have went after the criminal instead of Rocco.
Yes.
Could have gone after the Boyanis, right?
She
And
ran
yes.
on getting Trump. And the appeal is not final yet. And you guys are just crying. And Scott, you don't know what else to throw at your
What's your
people because you're losing so
question?
bad.
Do you have a question in that word salad, Rocco, or what?
No, it's not a word salad. It's what you do to your
think
cult.
facts. Listen, I tend to
you
agree
do
with
to
you.
your
As
cult.
I said,
You poison them
I
with
tend to
lies and
agree with you
propaganda.
on the essay. But here's the thing: we're spending a lot of time on that, and I know it's an important issue. But when we look towards the biasness, towards the feelings that we have, because there's no question, there's such a great divide between the feelings for Donald Trump. Okay. So if you take what happened with his business dealings right now with Michael Cohen, I would categorically say to you that I might not have found him guilty on those charges if I'd been sitting on a jury in New York. Now, I can almost guarantee you, had that been in one of his red states, that case would never have come up and he would certainly never have been found guilty. So we know that, and I
Listen to
think
what you're saying, though, Tony. Listen to what you're saying.
I think, well, my point is that there is still a lot of opinion and bias depending on how we generally feel about him. And we find it difficult to look beyond what our own opinions are.
Okay, so then I guess what you're saying is that if you should only crime in the state where you feel like a jury would be in your pocket?
We have never, you know that to be the case because that is exactly what defense attorneys do all the time. Okay. So we know that to be the case.
That's not
The
the case. I mean, that's
reality
where the crime is
is,
committed.
the reality is we've
try to change
never
venue.
been.
I want to know why E. Jean Carroll can write a book about somebody, not take it to court, and then get funded by all of the leftist people. And what I can't remember. I suck at names. He's a guy. This guy funded because she was asked, "Who helped you fund this?" And a lot of people. She almost said Clinton because that was on there as well. I want to know why prior to 2016 when she wrote this book and then claimed that Donald Trump was defaming her. Well, if I was Donald Trump and somebody was claiming that I sexually assaulted them, you don't think that he would have a right to question that or freak out about it?
Again, Stacey, the
This
question that
happened
I
30
still
years
have not.
ago. Why all of a sudden now, while he wanted to be a president, she went on a interview talking
talked about that.
No,
Do you not know this?
did you see
She
the
talked about
interview
that.
that she talked about Donald Trump saying, "Is he going to run for president? He can't run for president." She was like
talked about it.
adamant
You
about
understand?
going after him. Facts.
No, Stacey, what
He
you don't
did
understand-
not
do you
want Donald Trump to be president.
Do you understand why she didn't bring this case sooner? You don't know this, do you?
Yeah,
She didn't want. Why?
because it's a lie.
Okay, so she
That's
didn't want,
why?
she didn't want her parents to go
She
through the
wrote a
embarrassment.
crazy book about crazy things.
No, okay. Once again, Stacey,
And she was a fan of The Apprentice. Who's a fan of a guy
So-
who raped you?
right. So, Stacey,
I mean, I can go on for
So
days
evidence-
about E.
the
Jean
evidence-
Carroll facts.
the
You
evidence
have not
was
done
presented.
anything to research this woman.
Okay,
Nothing.
sure. Right. I just happen to be friends with her niece, but that's fine. Ideally, here's the funny thing about
Oh,
this. Here's the funny thing
that's
about this.
interesting to know.
Yeah, here's the funny thing about this, Stacey.
You're friends with her niece.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this, Stacey. Right? Here's the thing about
So
this.
you're
is that
extremely biased.
The evidence was presented on both sides. Testimony was given. Evidence was introduced. A jury decided, based on that evidence, that he was liable. I want to go back to the question that Tony asked. So, Tony, would you consider Florida a sympathetic state for Donald Trump?
No.
I'd say it leaned. It's not like
No, considering Joe Biden just flew in
It certainly does lean.
97,000 migrants, no, I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't ask you. I'm asking Tony. So do you
Yeah,
think?
I just
I'd probably
remind
say
you
it
that Joe
was-
Biden flew in
from a biased
397,000
point of view-
migrants into Miami.
Cool. So I'm trying to ask you, Tony.
That's okay, cool. You hear that, cult members? Keep drinking.
So, Tony, do you think Florida is a sympathetic state to Donald Trump?
Well, Florida's Florida.
But it's pretty funny because you say that Joe Biden hasn't done anything criminal, right?
Show me
You can say the
crime,
same thing,
Stacey.
correct?
Show me the crime.
I just asked you about Tara Reid and you just swiped right over it because you didn't want to hear it. You said,
No, I
oh,
didn't.
she lied. Oh, she went to Russia. Oh, she's this.
She
She actually came out when it happened in 94. She didn't wait 30 years. So why would
She
you
did lie, though.
dismiss her?
She did lie.
So you can say the same thing, facts. You
She
defend
got-
Joe Biden.
Stacey,
Right?
Her attorneys.
So
her
now you're
attorneys
going to
fired
sit here and
because
say
she
that
perjured
you're going to
herself.
dismiss Tara Reid, but E. Jean
I'm
Carroll
not
is
dismissing her.
real.
I'm not dismissing Tara Reid. I think
Yes, you
everything
are.
is her. So let me.
It's pretty
not
funny
only
that
Tara,
Tara
there's about
Reid
another
went to the
10 on
police.
Joe Biden.
Finish.
No.
Let
It's
me
pretty
finish.
funny that Tara Reid went to the police when it happened. She went to her family members. Her family members went on Larry King talking about
Right.
what should my daughter do about
Right.
this person doing something to her in 94 facts. And then when
Right.
she
So
came out
what's-
way prior to when Joe Biden was going for president, they went after her. Right? So she wanted to write a book, just like
The
E. Jean
racist
Carroll.
womanizer.
They wanted to write a book, went to Moscow. Now they won't let her back. Why is that, Fax? Why can't she
Maria-
come back to the United States?
With Maria Butina, she can't come back to the United States. So
Why?
Here's the question.
Why can't she
Stacey.
come back, Fax?
Why did her attorneys fire her?
Why can't she come after Joe Biden for the Me Too movement
She
30
can.
years ago?
She can.
No,
Why-
she can't. They won't let her back into the United States, Fax.
That's not true, Stacey.
She
No.
wanted to
Why-
come back. She went on several of interviews
Not true,
saying, I
Stacey.
wanted to
Stop
come
lying.
back
Why
when
did
the Me
her
Too
fire her?
movement was going to tell her story, and they
Why
would
did
not
her-
allow her.
Stacey, why did her attorneys fire her?
Why? I don't know. You tell me why an attorney would fire somebody.
Because she perjured herself twice under oath.
When did she go to court? When did she go to court?
She was in court over other cases, not involved.
Oh, other cases.
Let me finish.
So what did
Because
that
they
have
were
to do with her
racist
sexual assault?
womanizers.
Can I
back then.
finish? Can I
They
finish?
wanted to
everyday
unalive
common
her
practice.
horse,
Can I
unalive her,
finish?
and they've gone after her daughter. What's the difference, Fax?
So can I finish, Stacey? Or you're just going to continue to monologue?
No, because you're demonizing Tara now.
I'm not.
You just said that I was doing it to E. Jean
You don't
Carroll.
believe a woman?
So
Is that
that's
what
the
you said, Stacey?
hypocrisy.
You don't believe Tara?
That's the hypocrisy from the left,
See,
right?
I know you're
That
talking and
one
interrupting.
can say that they were
Talking
great,
and interrupting.
and the other one can't,
Talking
right?
and interrupting does not mean you're right. Just
because
attorney
you are
office-
wrong.
No, she
You are
perjured herself.
100% wrong because you're trying to find a way to demonize her and what she experienced in 94. You're
Prosecutor-
okay with that, but
Prosecutors
you
declined to
believe
file-
E. Jean Carroll.
Prosecutors decide not to file perjury charges against Biden accuser Tara Reid, who said that she lied about her credentials at the next.
Oh, you're reading an opinion piece. Yeah, of
No,
course.
I'm not. I'm reading.
Is it from MSNBC?
No, it's from the Monterey County District Attorney's Office.
Uh-huh. And why did they not want to hear the case? Because she lied under oath for what?
She lied about her credentials.
Her credentials.
Yeah, about her
So
background.
what does that have to do with her being raped?
It doesn't, Stacey. The
Okay,
point
so then why are you bringing that up?
Stacey, this is what you do. You don't like to be proven wrong, so you interrupt people.
And you do
So-
the same. I
I
admit, you do the same.
I haven't been wrong. That's the problem.
Oh, you're the only one that's right, right, Cass? You're the only one.
Stacey, you didn't know that. her
You've been
attorney-
BSing your supporters for how long
Right.
on this app?
Right. So you didn't.
How
know-
long have you been BSing your supporters?
Here we go. You're interrupting again. Here we go.
Because you've been BSing your supporters.
Right, but you didn't know that she had been found that she perjured herself, did you? You didn't know that, did you?
But because I didn't care. That has nothing to do with her being great.
Right.
You
Why
can't
did
put those
then
two
why did
together.
she not bring
Now, if
charges
you had
against
told
Biden?
me that she was found lying because of the grape, then I would say, well, geez, that's messed up. But no,
Why did she
that
not
had-
bring charges
so you
against
guys are
Biden?
demonizing her, saying that she lied under oath because of her credentials.
Again,
Of
that's
course,
what
they're
she
going
did.
to
I'm not-
smear her. They don't want
Oh.
her. They don't want her truth to come out.
But she lied.
She lied because of her credentials?
He couldn't even defend himself. You people are out of your minds.
What? No, she lied about her credentials.
Your cult. The
She was
case is
called
not
as an
over yet.
She was called as an expert
The case
witness.
is not over yet.
Excuse me. She was called an expert witness in a case based on her credentials, and she lied about her credentials.
No final verdict. It'll be over.
That's what the issue is. If you didn't know that, Stacey, then just be an adult and say, I didn't know that.
So is she suing Joe Biden right now? Facts?
Is she suing him? I don't know. Is she?
Yes. Oh, you don't know that? Oh, wait, you know everything about everything. You just said that I didn't know that, so you don't know that she's suing him?
What's she suing him for?
Oh, look it up.
You made the claim, Stacey.
Stacey,
You said you didn't know that she was suing him. She's suing him because she can't come back to the United States.
Okay,
They took away her right to come back to the United States. Facts.
Really?
Look it up.
So
He just went on several of interviews with several of people talking about this situation. She cannot come back to the United States. She's in fear of her life.
Where can I find that she's suing Joe Biden?
Look up in the
United States. You want the big screen?
I don't have it in front of me right now, the case, but I'll look it up.
Okay.
And not only that, they also got rid of a lot of the information in the classified information for Joe Biden.
Stacey, the blue
They got
cult.
rid of that from '94.
Right. Okay. So to my Russian brothers and sisters, I'm sorry right now that American elites are choosing to have such an aggressive stance. Just know that most American citizens do want to be friends and hope that we can have unity again. Do you know who said that?
Say again, what'd you say?
To my Russian brothers and sisters, I'm sorry right now that American elites are choosing to have such an aggressive stance. Just know that most American citizens do want to be friends and hope that we can have unity again. I love you. You know who said that?
You're going to say Tara Reid?
Yeah, she said it.
Yeah, and?
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's
said
not
it.
supposed to have friends with Russia?
I'm enjoying my time.
So
in
she's not
Moscow.
supposed to
I've
have
never-
friends in Russia or Moscow. Is that what you're saying? How many people go to Moscow?
Hey, just beat the woman down after a
Moscow,
traumatizing
I've
event
never
that's
felt
going
more
on
at
at home.
home.
Just beat her down. Go ahead. Display your character. This
I'm
is
not
why
beating her down.
Biden's getting beat like a drum.
Right. I'm not beating her down. I'm saying what she said. I'm just telling what she said. So Stacey made the claim that she can't prove.
You people
She
are the
can't.
biggest
She
cult.
said it.
MAGA that pales in
Prove it,
comparison.
Stacey.
She went on a Tucker Carlson interview talking
right,
about
Tucker.
that she cannot come back.
Right. We're supposed to take Tucker.
Tucker is the only one that can go to Russia where they respect him there.
Right.
And of
right.
course you're not going to believe
Millions and
him
millions
because
of
it's
views.
Russia.
Tara Reid in the 1990s said that she never disclosed the assault to other members of Biden's staff, but she filed a complaint about harassment and was later fired. Several people close to Reid have said that she told them about the allegations, but nothing continued. Biden has vigorously denied the allegations, saying the alleged assault never happened, but she should be heard. Members of his Senate staff at the time said the office had a professional atmosphere and that Reid never went to them with their claim of harassment. Why didn't she tell anybody?
Come back when the case is finally.
So your argument.
What do you
so your
mean? She
argument about-
told everybody facts. She went to the police when it happened. What are you talking about?
Where's your proof of that, Stacey? Prove it.
It's her. She said it in multiple interviews.
Case is
Okay,
not final.
show me one. Show me one. Where can I find one?
Show you one video of Tara Reid speaking?
No, one video where she claimed that she went to the police and filed a complaint. That's the claim that you made.
Hey guys,
I'm not in
listen,
front of my computer to show you guys a bunch of shit.
Of course not.
Because
listen, this is why I
I'm
don't
the
go down
only
the
one
route.
that shows facts. You read from opinion.
Oh, right.
Stacey, hold on. I know you bring the receipts. I just want to say this. They never bring receipts. Now, Fax is bringing some stuff.
He's
but
reading it from the
nothing is
computer.
final. Listen, nothing is final. And they're trying to make it appear like he's already lost and guilty. The final verdict has not been set, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
so
the
this
verdict
is
has
going
been
to
set,
get thrown out,
exactly. That's
just
wrong.
like the Jack Smith.
Right.
Don't you
That's
people
wrong.
see that this? Hey, hold on.
But you're
Don't
wrong.
you people see that the only goal they have is to stop Trump from running? That's
Right.
it. And it's not working. And that's
That's a nice
why you're
statement. That's-
driving more and more people away from the Democratic Party. The
That's
Democratic
incorrect.
Party has left their base, and you're left behind because you're the fringes. I can't imagine your cult, what they're doing in this chat. Thank God I get the download. Because the other one that tore their own kind up, the other one was way worse than this. I want you to know I appreciate you. When the event is over, whoever wins, I hope we can still be friends. And if you were in town, I'd be glad to have a lunch with you like Dr. Snuffles. You know, I don't come here to make enemies.
I'm
the
good.
way you
He's a
attack
great
this
rapist.
man, this is Stacey, is he a great man? A great American?
Who?
Iconic family? I don't get it. Is he or is he not? They're saying no because he's not been. The verdicts are not final. The verdicts are not final. But you want me to admit that he's not a great man because of this, that, or the other thing.
So
you
can't
give anyone second chances, but yet you want everybody out of prison. And he lets 20,000 people out on early release, and you can't.
Are you saying that he's not a convicted
face
felon?
the fact that Donald did it and Joe didn't.
Right. Are you saying that he's not a convicted felon, Rocco?
No, not yet. Not yet.
He is a convicted.
Not yet.
No, he
he's
is.
going to face appeals, my friend.
No, but that's not how it works.
It's going the way it's been going for 9 years. You got nothing on nothing.
Rocco.
And if you convict him guilty as
he's a convicted felon.
I said facts. I pray to God they put him in Rikers Island on the 11th. I hope they drive him across the bridge. I don't even want a helicopter to fly there. And then I want Bannon in prison too.
He's a convicted felon.
You don't know what's going to happen because Bannon's coming to get all of your people.
Rocco.
Bannon is.
He's a convicted felon.
You want
he's a convicted felon.
You know what?
He's going to be sentenced on July 11th.
You know what eats the wolf? Bannon eats the wolf. You guys are in
You honestly don't believe.
Old man Peter. You guys.
You honestly don't believe.
The worms so big. Listen, Biden, Obama,
Rocco, listen.
Hillary,
you honestly believe that he's not a convicted felon?
He's going to eat you. Bannon is mad. He's crazy, and he's ready to go to prison.
So now you're into the deflection mode. He's a convicted felon, Rocco.
No,
he's a convicted. Yes, he is.
Judge
so I want to make a comment to that. I want to make a comment to that, right? So, facts. Do you think any of these cases would have came up if Donald Trump didn't go for presidency in 2016?
If he didn't go for, ask the question again.
If he didn't become president in 2016, do you think any of this would have happened?
Any of his indictments?
Well, you can't talk about the documents case because he was already president. I'm saying like the fraud and
all the politicians in his pocket.
Right? I think she asked me. Right?
So do you think that would have happened?
Which cases? You got to be more specific.
The ones I just told you, the fraud ones and the aging one.
I do. Yeah, I still
you do.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you a question.
Let me hold on. Let me. There's more to my answer. The reason is because they're crimes. And crimes should be investigated. And you guys see
then why weren't they investigated prior to 2016?
They were. He's been under investigation for decades. Don't forget, because DOJ policy, you can't indict a sitting president.
Oh, he was investigated in 2015?
He's been investigated his entire life.
Where's that? Where do I find that information?
Stacey, I tell you what, I don't have a computer in front of me, just like you. I can't pull it
up. Okay, yeah. So he was investigated in 2015, 14.
He's been investigated for. He's always been investigated.
So then why would Hillary Clinton want money from him?
Because Hillary Clinton.
Why would Jesse Jackson want him to, endorse him?
Because
why would Oprah Winfrey, who is a pretty good person, would investigate him and knowing that he wasn't a greatness or
because he's rich,
a fraud? So all of these people now that hate his guts didn't think anything different when he was a criminal? Because he's been a criminal apparently his whole life.
Well, he has. Do you think a person who's the president?
So then you think that all
these answer your question, Stacey, or are you just going to monologue? Thank you. So when the specifics of when you hold the position of presidency, do you think that puts you under more scrutiny or less scrutiny?
They knew about Donald Trump prior to that, buddy.
Can you answer my question?
They knew about Donald Trump way before his presidency.
Right now? His corruption, all of his corruption. You're right. So does a president who's under scrutiny, is a president under more or less scrutiny?
Of course they're under scrutiny because they don't. That's why they're attacking him politically.
Right. So that's your belief.
Absolutely.
So Rocco, it's been a pleasure. I have to go. Capitalism calls. I guess I'm going to leave with this. I guess the question that you guys have to ask yourself, for the 475 people in here, whether or not you're a Trump supporter or not, if you genuinely think that someone who's been adjudicated, we've agreed, adjudicated, evidence, a jury determined that he sexually abused a woman, if you think that is a great man, then I don't know what to say. But thank you for having me.
Bye, facts.
I agree to disagree with facts. For all of you,
and I'm a woman. So
yes, it was a lot. He left already. And if there's any other opposition that want to come up and take a shot at it, go ahead. Because once I shut this live down, I've been violated so many times, Stacey. I'm going to have to call the agent to deal with this because they have to listen to it. Unless it was the E. Jean Carroll video I played, they had no reason to report us. This is all nonsensical. They just want to do what they do, silence the opposition. You see, as the great president Javier Milei said, we have to win the culture war. We already have. You can cancel me. I'll be back. You can call me a white supremacist. I know I'm not. You could say whatever you want. I'm defending you could say whatever you want. It doesn't make a difference. I am going to contribute to saving this country and the people around the world who are being unalived because this administration is weak. Their weakness vacuum, the power vacuum that's gone, is what allowed these conflicts to happen. And that's the first thing he needs to do, is stop the unaliving. And you Kool-Aid drinking wolves who eat your own kind can't even see that. We're contributing to unalive people. And there's a man who everybody's painting up to be the worst man on planet Earth, either before or after Donald Trump, the guy named Putin. You got everybody believing that this guy's looking to reform the Soviet Union and take over the world. He's already said it. He wants to join NATO. He wants.
Rocco, this is what I say. It's the propaganda of the media, right?
I'm telling you, they have to stop drinking their shit. Look, they're jumping because they don't want to hear the truth, because it hurts their feelings, because they can't handle words. He's hung up on words. He's hung up on words, Stacey, instead of substance, action, and results. Without results, nothing else matters. We have chaos and suffering, our own people. Look what we just had to do for Brother Angel. They don't get it. They're not compassionate. They're like wolves. They eat their own kind. What they did to Tony for 5 hours in Facts Matters Live, unbelievable, Stacey. And you know what? Tony waxed them. Waxed them. And the attack.
Do you know what's so funny, Rocco? You got people in comments. You got people in your comments that have a picture that says Ashley Babbitt shots. These are the people on the left. Imagine that. Like thinking that you have to make a profile of somebody that was unalived. Like these are the people that you're dealing with. But then they say that Donald Trump is the horrific man of the orange bad man.
Wolf pack. They're a
It's like
rabid
crazy to
wolf
me.
pack, Stacey.
The hypocrisy kills me.
The behavior is insane. Listen.